Hey everyone, welcome back to Market Mamas podcast. I'm Kendra and this is Becky. We are day traders from the United States. I'm located in Northern California and Becky is in the Pacific Northwest. And we have been trading for about 3.5 years now. We both met each other first couple months of our very first educational training program. So we decided about a year ago that we should create this podcast to primarily focus on the psychology aspect of becoming a trader. And as developing traders, it is very challenging on any given day, and it's quite the journey. So we want to bring real, authentic discussions, experiences. We have had many episodes now, important topics, and also some trader interviews. We highlight a lot of great resources, great books that we've read, we found a lot of value from. So today we're here and we're going to do a recap episode for the week of the 8th, and we're going to feature Becky today and just dig deep into her week and all the lessons and growth that she experienced. So let's get started.
Yes, welcome everybody. And I really love part of Kendra's and I's relationship is we regularly kind of check in on each other, both on like just a trading session or a whole day, but also like just where we're at in our lives and our journey and how we're feeling with everything that's going on. And really, it brings us so much value having these periodic check-ins with ourselves, our person, our progress, our experiences, and that overall growth. We found tremendous value there. So there's a saying that what you measure changes, and just the fact that we're kind of in that way measuring our outcomes and our growth and experiences and then reviewing what that is showing us week over week, that provides valuable insights into where we're headed and how it's going. And it's that kind of bigger picture bird's eye view on my progress that I decided I kind of want to focus on this week with you all, kind of like a bigger picture of who I'm turning into. We're recording this episode on September 8th. And so it's at the end of the first full week of September. And I started out this week with a pretty rough trading day on Tuesday after the Labor Day holiday. I just didn't have it that day and I didn't read. But then I doubled down on my process and I reminded myself of my edge and generally effective system. And then I had 3 nice, clean, strong trading days thereafter. And then that resulted in a nice net green end to the week. And so that just shows, trading wise, I feel good about it. And I'm so grateful for my edge and the markets and the opportunities that they provide. But I'm still young enough in my trading career that I need to expect and take seriously that I will have a learning red P&L day such that I had on Tuesday, and that's actually totally okay if I use them to grow from and keep it within my risk tolerance overall, which thankfully I did this week, which allowed me to end with that net green. So this is solidly within my process and congruence with where I'm at in my journey. And I got to be okay with that. This is the logistical side of trading, what it looks like day, and then at the week. But the psychological and emotional side of it, I'm going to be honest, it's still a bit anxious for me at times. Uncomfortable. I can feel uneasy. This kind of ups and downs. But it's more and more okay as I mature, because I think that I understand that better now too. So what I'm recognizing about it in myself is that this discomfort is the sensation associated with me actually changing. And so it's me challenging my status quo in real time and forcing quiet the lingering imposter syndrome and limiting beliefs, and instead doing my best to take control of and kind of write my own narrative that I am a consistently profitable day trader and I can accomplish this day over day. And that a red day mixed in is not a sign that I'm not good enough to be profitable, but rather it's a sign that I get into my arena every day and try at something crazy freaking hard. All of that, it can be super uncomfortable at times. Trading the next morning after ending a day red, there is a psychological hurdle there to push past, and it's not as easy as I would hope that I could treat it as. But I still choose to channel strength and hold steady despite like nerves and intermittent hesitation or unwarranted insecurities. It's kind of a stepping stone, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it is so hard and uncomfortable, and allowing those feelings they're natural, like we're human, and trading gives us that instant feedback, and it can be really hard to tie all of like our ability thus far to one day sometimes. And it's like, no, like we have to just stay focused on the bigger picture and moving forward. So I'm super glad that you were able to just rebound after that one day. And I always say I would rather have a red day to start the week than end the week. Because I feel like when you start the week out with a red day, it's like, all right, we're only going up from here. We're dialing down. We're going to be on our best behavior, and then it feels great when you do that, exactly what you did. And then you get to end your week, with that confirmation, like, all right, hey, I got this. So good job. Good job just taking ownership for your day, but then just, keeping at it, getting back in the arena and talking about that's really important because it's a big part of the job for sure.
Yeah, that's such a good point about starting the day red and then like breathing. You're okay. There's time.
There's always more time.
Yeah. It's one day, and I think I told you the other day. Like, there's that saying that every trade is just one shot in a basketball game, inside a game, inside a career. Like it's one shot. Like just let it go, brush it off, run back, see what else is out there. I love that analogy. I can't remember what I heard it in, but it's sticking with me. Okay, so the last episode that I talked a little bit more heavily than Kendra, it was titled "Overcoming Setbacks," and I was pretty real about a stumble that I had this summer in my trading journey that circled around a significant physical injury. But in coming out of that season now, I am really kind of re-energized and choosing to purposely aim my thoughts to be more factual about my skills, to give myself credit for the work that I have done and the trader that I am right now. There's been massive ups and downs in my last few years as a developing trader. And in hindsight, it's pretty fucking cool. I survived day after day some hard ass work that would have long ago scared away the average Joe. And Kendra gets it. Anyone who's been in this game a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, right? It's not always pretty. And I cried all kinds of times with my inner people or just to myself alone. And the beauty of that time is that not only did I cry and let the emotions out, but I also contemplated what happened. I journaled, I replayed the charts, I studied my butt off, I asked questions in my classes, and I grew and changed and evolved. And those are the facts of the nauseating but exhilarating roller coaster ride of day trading. It's like I earned this place right now, this exact situation, the timeline. It is what invalidates any thoughts of an imposter syndrome worry. My relentless fight is bringing me to profitability, not hiding from the ugly parts, but using them for the purpose of my bigger goals is literally changing my outcomes. And I think that's how it works, right? We did an episode back in March titled Upgrading Your Life in 2024. And I feel like that is the type of energy that I'm still working on and through and likely will always respect as a never ending effort. I have a friend who's a successful trader, and he has said that once you reach your first million, you'll realize that it's not actually that much money. And to that, I have once or twice totally rolled my eyes. But also, it's a really great point. As we grow, expand, and stretch and meet metrics, we aren't going to always be so easily satisfied. That's like the goal achieving. It just adds to more hunger, I think. As we do hit those marks, our skills and habits will have grown to get us there. So we will naturally then see higher goal targets from that vantage point. I'm not sure who originally said this, but I love the saying, what got you here won't get you there. It's a perspective shift with each new level. And as I'm on the climb, I definitely feel the truth in that. Each level up changes us at our core, and it does take time, but I can feel that I'm turning into a different person as my experiences and surrounding life change also. In the real time, it feels like the concept of upgrading my identity. I think that true masters can look back at their growth and point to this exact shifting phase that we're in and name it as the same, the upgrading period. But as with our trading, Kendra and I were on this podcast in real time as we are putting in the work to make these changes every day. So bear with us. We're far from perfect, but I mean, we come at you for real. That's for damn sure.
Oh, goodness. That was a lot to unpack. Let me try to circle back to, okay, the first part where you're talking about really reminded me of, I had just listened to Mel Robbins and the Sarah Jake Roberts podcast I told you about. And one of the amazing analogies they used was how we have a cabinet, right? We all have a cabinet of things, of ingredients, all these things within us. And a lot of times we kind of try to keep the cabinet closed, right? Like all the stuff that we don't want to see and face. And trading is very much like that because we're learning and we have all these parts of it that make us uncomfortable and that we're feel like insecure about. And they talked about how when you could finally sit with yourself, fully open your cabinet and take it all out and like not cringe, like when you're not cringing about these things anymore, right? And you're owning them. And then that's when you could fully, like, you could really start cooking with it, right? Like you have everything you need. Like, Becky, you're a baker. Like we cook and we know that like not every ingredient is sweet. Not every ingredient that you need to make something is like the star, right? But you have to use all of them, to bring the recipe together, to balance everything. So I really love that we're talking about the whole upgrading of identity, because it is something that I think we've been on this journey and it's beautiful. And when you talk about the $1 million, like that's so true, because it's so hard not for trading not to be about the money. And everyone knows that that's why people are drawn to it. Like even, the really big, influencers, like they flash all that, but they do that because they know it'll bring views, because everyone wants to see, the numbers. But it's really, as we're learning on this journey, it's just about the person we're becoming, the trader we're wanting to become, and focusing on that, is what keeps us in the game and has us realize like, wow, like all this I've been through, like it's not for nothing. I'm a different person now. So I love what you shared. That's just incredible.
Right. Great way to look at it. I was thinking about all this a lot this week, and I was thinking about how it's goal growth and how that revolves around my journey. And I kind of dug into the memories like you're talking about and the work that I have done and am doing to think about how I am actually accomplishing it, so that I could try to kind of articulate it both for myself and to share for anyone who listens to our podcast, because I think it's an important conversation. And that's just what you're saying, Kendra. It's like all my ingredients that are who I am. Like to examine them, it creates a beautiful picture. And I think the core of it for me is that I've had to upgrade my standards and habits through this to break through these barriers. So if what I was achieving as an early trader stayed stagnant as my standards now, I would still be back where I was. I'd be just donating to real traders and institutions month over month without a clear identified edge. But that's not my situation. I'm now pushing my minimum standards up towards what I need to expect and allow in order to gain consistency at a higher skill level. With like intentional risk management and strong trading outcomes, I have to expect more. I love the concept I read about wherein you want to upgrade your standards, not to your current outcome, but instead to your goals that are in sync with the future self that you're striving towards. And so that makes so much sense to me. As a futures day trader, I want an acceptable risk with a strong entry price with each trade, then with a reasonable profit target that works within my view and understanding of market context and the times of day and types of trades that I most clearly see setting up. So that means that I honor my standard of predefined risk management, profit taking strategy, business management, and weekly goals, both in P&L, but also in process. So it's all of that needs to really be in sync with my optimal trading style and effort. And it's okay to set a high standard and then to fail, right? So lasting influential change, it's not supposed to be easy. Failure is a sign that you're pushing towards something that is so hard, thereby failing and learning why and how you can fail less in the pursuit of those ideal goals of that future self. That, I think, is the path that will get you there. So slowly I'm failing less, controlling the fail as I did on Tuesday, and forcing out the habits that are holding me back. I'm having less tilt days and controlling the potential tilt days sooner. So thereby that contains their impact. And so this is learned just from my failures, and my accounts, they can grow more by these actions because I'm paying attention and making changes. I do practice active visualization in really vivid detail of who I am as a successful, influential, inspirational, profitable female trader who is living my example with my trade executions and in my behaviors, also while simultaneously like giving back to my community. It's a big picture thing. And so all of my habits right now, day to day, they need to be in that image, not who I was last year or even last month. It'll be a constant process, I think, but the hard work, it's never scared me off in any part of my life. I'm not worried about hard work. I'm here for that. And so now that I am starting to realize some of my early goals, such as I'm actually going on a family trip that's totally funded by trading income that we leave for in a couple of days. I'm very excited. And then I swear that is turning me into like more of a dog with a bone, because I crave the relentless showing up and striving, even though it's hard and it's kind of scary, because I can taste my future self and she's kind of a badass, right? Like, it's been said that with every new achievement, your confidence can grow as a byproduct of the actions that you successfully execute. In this way, confidence and personal belief, it's earned and will be more stable and lasting. So it makes sense. And it's all wrapped up in the process of it all. It's all intertwined with the constant purposeful effort that we can change and upgrade our identities, I think. That's the energy that I'm coming into this fall with, anyhow. And it feels right. It feels where I'm at. It feels good.
Totally. Yeah. That's really full circle how you brought that home and those points. It really is. It's almost like we have to give ourselves permission, right? To really step into this fuller version and not, and then just keep adding on to it and then expecting more out of ourselves. Like you said, we never have shied away from hard work. So why not be able to expect, to get the reward from that? I mean, it only makes sense, right? That we do continue to get better and have bigger and greater goals. So that's super exciting. And I'm so happy for your family vacation you're going to go on. Like, that is just incredible. And you know me, I'm all about vacationing and having that time away to just be able to enjoy your family without all the heavy day-to-day hustle and bustle. And, you still taking care of them when you're on vacation. As moms, I always say, like, when you travel with your family, like, you're still doing a lot. It's still work, but it's just sweeter. It's way sweeter. So you're going to have the best time. And I can't wait for you to come back and also share with everyone about how your Alaskan cruise went.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, it's funny. My husband and I are different personalities. And with the little bit of money that we made so far this year, I've made in trading, I mean, we could be responsible with it and like pay down bills and like medical expenses. But I'm like, also, we're going on a cruise. We're bringing my parents because I worked my ass off for 3 years. And like, there's a little, so we're going to do both. We're going to do this family vacation. Yeah, we're also going to like, we're going to pay some bills, but we're also going to like celebrate a little bit the work of it. And I think that that's kind of important along the journey as well. And you have been a leader in showing me about that type of, I don't know, respecting the work that you do and taking that time away.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, money comes and goes, right? The bills are eventually going to get paid, but you don't get that experience back. Like, you don't get that time that you could create those memories. And that's priceless, right? And so it's an investment, and travel is one of the few things that make you richer. A lot of things we just spend money on, our money's gone, whatever, quick fix, but travel, those memories, those moments, like, those last forever. And your kids, like, that's going to be a major highlight of their childhood. So girl, I'm so proud of you.
That's exactly my sentiments. It's an investment in their lives. Like, they will always look back and remember like watching the glaciers melt into the ocean and having that time with my parents who are aging, faster than I would like. So it's exciting. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Let me bring it home with my thoughts on this whole upgrading thing here. All right. So the type of energy that I'm like feeling myself being in right now, I feel like it's not a one-time thing either. Like, it feels bigger than that. So it's like I compared it in my thoughts to New Year's resolutions. So they don't last without a discipline that holds steadfast once the motivation wanes. That's how this trading journey feels also to me. The statistics of failed traders are all the peeps who gave up on those resolutions or their journey when it got too hard. But I say, beyond just the discipline, it also has to take courage and a commitment to that image of your future you. Call her to the now, as my mentor Jermaine pointed out in his first interview with us last year. You got to be flexible enough to recognize old habits that feel like normal, baseline, safe. They are not actually where you want to live anymore. But then you also have to try for patience and let it grow organically and with time, because forcing it doesn't work. And there's bound to be some loss, honestly, and mourning with leaving the old self behind. Maybe you outgrow habits that kept you tied to certain people or places or experiences, but they don't serve the you of your biggest dreams. I feel that so significantly. So having a moment to mourn throughout this upgrading period, but then for me, I keep climbing to my next level, even while saying goodbye to certain things. It's like an inner drive that's pushing you. And if you're still listening this late in the episode, then this topic must resonate with you in some way too, right? You might also have that inner drive that it helps me to have the inner drive and move forward by just embracing it, focusing on that Becky, and let the rest shed off gently as I go. Purge unhelpful old habits and behaviors and allow the new, more powerful ones to kind of more fully blossom in that space. Just like with trade management, no longer allowing poor risk management because that's simply just not in alignment with who I am and who I am cultivating. I'm not going to be perfect with it every day, but I'm going to keep trying at that every day, week over week. And so I want to choose to, with my intentional effort, to no longer tolerate those behaviors that aren't serving my bigger trading journey. It's a commitment to myself and what I know in my heart that I'm worthy of and capable of at this point. And so each time I honor that with my day, I was saying the other day, it's a vote for Becky 2030. And so that also says, I don't need to rush this. I've got plenty of time. In 2030, I'm still going to be young and fit and strong and awesome. But having that time to just get better without pressuring myself and let it happen. Becky 2030, she's a damn force. Let me just say, I have her in my mind. And so for me, that means to get there, I can't operate on autopilot for easier in the moment situations with trading or in general in life. But instead, I want to build for her and for our family all that it can be. So it's like an eyes wide open energy to all the opportunities and the choices that bring these outcomes and goals to fruition over time. The energy that I talked about in that must read episode the other day, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. At one point, the author Manson, he covers the idea that every action you take, it's your choice. And so you have to own it every day in every way. If you're going to do something, you need to respect that choice and the outcome you're going to receive. And I love that. That was a total aha moment for me. And it's totally in sync with this kind of energy. I want an upgraded life. I want to have a month in Italy, so I have to act like it because that is the only way it will actually happen is by the literal actions. And so kind of lastly, in my daily pursuit of my future Becky, who is more badass than ever, I want to make sure that I always appreciate my efforts and the little wins with a deep, sincere gratitude along the way, because those are my fuel. And every day that I honor my intentions and process for building those dream outcomes, I want to make sure that I'm taking a minute to appreciate the work and then using that appreciation and gratitude to propel me into doing it another day. And then I think if I just keep stringing them along day after day, I think if we can do that for ourselves, then they compound and you can recognize the masterpiece that we're creating for ourselves. And so that's kind of where I'm at with working diligently to become my best self and actualize my biggest goals. And I think that these lessons can apply to all of us in this space. Retail traders who survive and persevere beyond year one and their first giant blowout account, they will get into this territory of needing to grow or call it. And for those of you that are here to grow into your best badasses, I say, let's go. We are capable of so much more for ourselves and our families. And Kendra and I, you've known us if you've been here a minute. And so we're here for all of it with you guys.
Yeah, we definitely are here for all of it. Yes, that is all those points, make me think of the not letting the future steal from the present and purposeful pressure all the time in our lives. And, just understanding the bigger picture that, and what's beautiful about trading is, again, it's the correlation you could make to just life in general and wanting more, going through the pain for the growth, just pushing yourself and choosing to lean into the challenge and not back away from it. I mean, we talked the other day about survival days, and then I was every day is a survival day because we're always we're queens, we're on a mission and a queen's always under attack. Someone's always coming to steal her throne and, get in her castle. So, that's not going anywhere. This is never going to be easy, So Becky, thank you for everything you gave us today. You really, poured out your heart, and, I'm just so happy that you're my trading partner in all this. And we have this space, this stage to really just, let it all out. And thank you for everyone who tuned in today. And we appreciate you all watching. your likes, the watch hours. It's just a blessing for us, really, and helps us to keep, believing in this mission we're on to really spread the awareness of day trading for mamas and everyone out there. And we just want you to find value and give us feedback. Like, let us know what else we could offer, how we can step it up in this arena as well. So we will be back next week for sure with a whole new episode, and reach out to us on our social medias. Everything's linked in our description below. You can visit our website and just learn more about us. Everyone, take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.